It's interesting. I keep hearing about how Dallas is playing well, Boston's playing well. I'm too hard on them. Vancouver's playing well too, but they're not winning games. So they're not winning games. I don't care if they're playing well when you're not winning games. Dallas is now 4-3-3 in their last 10. I think Boston's won 3 of their last 11. But don't worry, they're playing well. Right. Now, their teams that are beating them are playing pretty well too. All right, so we're going to start things off talking about Ottawa and Washington. Forsberg versus Kemper. Good early back and forth. Norris hurt his leg, foot. Looked like he exited to walk that off. Tkachuk has a net drive that's defended. The shots are one apiece at 6 minutes, and at 6.5 minutes on a 2-on-1 rush, Protas roofs one. Only the second shot of the game for Washington there. Mantha and McMichael with the assists, so it's 1-0 Washington there. Tkachuk has a blast that's saved. It's cleared out. There's a delay game call. The Caps with a power play, and they score on it. It takes 9 seconds. Right off the face-off win, Carlson with the goal from Strome at 8.5 minutes. And it was nice to see Carlson get a goal as he became the all-time games played leader from the blue line for the Washington Capitals, passing Calle Johansson. Caps press with 8 minutes left. The Sens score, but it's waved off for a high stick. So they get together, they review it, and on the review, they decide good goal. So Pinto gets that one from Hamonic and Tkachuk at 12 minutes and 41 seconds. 12 shots on net to this point in the game for both teams. Four goals on 12 shots, 12 combined shots. 3:18 left. The Caps get a power play and they score on it at 18:33. Max Pacioretty gets his first since I think 1987. It feels like it anyways. McMichael and Scarbosa with the assist there. And then 14 seconds later, Malenstein buries one in close. Protas with the assist. So that makes it 4-2 after the first. And I thought about just grabbing an 80s magnet at that point. I'm like, this game's got to hit 10 goals. It does not. Second period, Korpisalo was in. Spoiler alert, doesn't make a huge difference. Tkachuk would score on a 2-on-1 rush from Tarasenko and Pinto at 1:27. It was a nice pass by Tarasenko to set that up. But at 1:58, a net feed is tapped in by Lapierre. Malenstein and McElrath with the assists there. So that restores the 2-goal lead for the Washington Capitals. Sens press at 4 minutes. There's some pushing there. We get a power play for Ottawa. That's killed off. And at 10:55, on a 2-on-1 with some great passing, Lapierre ends up getting the goal. Mantha and Protas with the assists. So that makes it 6-3. Sens press with 6 minutes left. There's a power play for the Caps. That's killed off. The Caps with some pressure with 2.5 minutes left. But we're going to the third with the score 6-3. Early press by Washington. Joseph de Stutzla near miss. The shots are one apiece at 6 minutes. So kind of a Washington feel to that third period. Sens press at 9.5 minutes. The Caps are blocking and they're sitting back up by 3. I get it. Press by Washington with 5 minutes left. Wilson's then denied on a fast break. With 8.5 seconds left, 8.8 seconds left, Brady, Tkachuk, and Kemper unfriendly. So again, Tkachuk kind of, irritating the other team, and he gets a goal and he gets a couple of assists, but they lose 6-3. So that's your final score. Washington goes to 27, 21, and 9. They improve their odds of getting into a playoff spot. Whereas Ottawa's not in a good spot to make the playoffs, 25, 28, and 3 with the loss. Shots on net, 10-9 Washington in the first, 6 apiece in the second, 6-4 Ottawa in the third. Final shots, 21-20 for the Senators. Power plays, Ottawa 0-1, Washington 2-3. Hits, 27-25 Ottawa. Forsberg, 6 saves on 10 shots. Korpisalo, 8 saves on 10 shots. And for Kemper, 18 saves on 21 shots at the other end. So no goaltender came out of tonight with great stats, but Washington came out with the win, and that's what Washington's going to care about. All right, next up, the Islanders and the Dallas Stars. So again, no, Dallas is playing well. Okay, so it's Sorokin versus Wedgwood. Barzell's denied on a break. Craig Smith has a rush chance that's blocked. The shots are 3-1 for New York, 4 minutes in. The Stars have a 3-on-2 that's broken up. The Islanders press. They're kept away from the net. Pavelski's denied. The Stars press. Stankoven can't bury one in close. Holmstrom has a net feed that deflects wide. Barzell then has a rush chance that's saved. At 15:57, the Islanders get on the board first. It's Pulock from Holmstrom and Cizikas from the high slot, and that fools Wedgwood. Suter then has a tip shot that's held. Delandry is denied from in close. With 7.5 seconds left, the Islanders go to the power play. So that rolls over into the second period. There's a post for Nelson on an open net. Ends up becoming a 5-on-3. There's a near miss for Nelson, near miss for Lee too. Everything's killed off, just the one shot in total. during that power play time. The Stars press are kept to the outside. We get a power play for Dallas. Ben can't bury one in close, but Duchesne does. Cross ice pass and buried Harley and Stankoven with the assists at 7 minutes and 11 seconds. For Logan Stankoven, that is his first NHL point. The Islanders press for a response. Suter has a shot that's blocked as Dallas gets some pressure. Horvat has a rush chance that's saved. Lee's denied on a rush, is cleared out. And then McLean, he scores. Wires a rebound from the slot. Engvall did all the work, and then McLean gets the burial for the goal. Pulock with the other assist at 15:24 puts the Islanders back ahead 2-1. Harley's then denied on a 2-on-1 rush at 18:17. Stankoven wires one from the side of the net. It's his first National Hockey League goal. Johnston with the assist there. It's a 2-2 tie after 2. Third period, the Stars press at a minute and a half. There's more pressure by them at 3 minutes. Duchesne fires one wide. Puck's cleared. Horvat has a shot that's held as the Islanders press back, but the shots are 5-1 for Dallas, 7.5 minutes in. Lindell fires one wide as the Stars get some pressure with 6:33 left. The Islanders with a power play. There's a shorthanded crossbar for Dellandrea. That power play is killed off. The Stars have a 3-on-2 that's broken up. Barzell's then robbed in close. Pavelski upset with the non-call late in the third period. So at the horn, he was letting the referee know he wasn't happy. In the overtime, the Stars control early. They get a chance. And then at 2:54, on the only shot that they needed in the overtime, Horvat, with his second overtime winner versus Dallas this season, he scores from Barzell and Riley again at 2:54. Makes your score 3-2 for the Islanders. In overtime, they go to 24, 20, and 14 with the win. With the overtime loss, Dallas 35, 16, and 9. Shots on net 13-10 Dallas in the first, 13-9 for the Islanders in the second, 9-4 for Dallas in the third. Both teams had one shot in the overtime. Final shots 32-28 for Dallas. Of course, the Islanders shot the one that matters. Power plays, the Islanders 0 for 3, Dallas 1 for 1. The hits 35-27 for the Islanders. Sorokin saved 30 out of 32. Wedgwood 25 saves on 28 shots. But a good goaltending duel there. All right, next up, LA and the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers were on a 3-game skid. That skid has come to an end. So it's Riddick versus Skinner. Things get pushy early, and it looks like this might end up descending into another ugly game like the Calgary game. It doesn't. And I do wonder if maybe that's, Edmonton after the Calgary game saying, look, that's not really our game. So the Kings have a 3-on-2 that's defended. The shots are 1 apiece at 3.5 minutes as we're getting lots of early stoppages, which aren't letting us get any flow in the game. Teams exchange turnovers. Hyman has a net drive that's blocked. Both defenses off to a strong start. And then at 6:45, LA opens the scoring. It's Trevor Moore burying a nice pass by Byfield. Englund with the other helper. So that makes it 1-0 LA. LaFerriere has a rush chance that's held. Byfield has a rush chance that's kicked aside. Then there's a post for Hyman. The Kings clear out after that. The Oilers press with 5 minutes left. The Kings press. They can't get to the net. And then Hyman does. He scores from McDavid at 19:36. McDavid, after tonight, I think has like 800 assists. Anyways, it's 1-1 after 1. Second period. The shots are 2-1 for the Kings, 4 minutes in. The Oilers press at 5 minutes. And again, the defense really strong by both. Not really sustained pressure in those first few minutes. Kaliev has a chance that's held. And then on a rush, they go tic-tac-toe to the Kings. And LaFerriere puts them ahead 2-1. Kopitar and Roy with the assists at 7:34. We get a power play for the Kings soon after. It becomes 24 seconds of 5-on-3. Everything's killed off. 6 shots during that. But, the Oilers come out of that with the huge kill 5-on-3. That could have been a real turning point there if the Kings had taken advantage. Nugent-Hopkins has a one-timer that misses wide. Kane has a shot that's held as the Oilers press. The Oilers press again with 5 minutes left. We then get a power play for the Oilers, and they score on it. It's Draisaitl tipping 1-5 hole really early in the power play, too. Bouchard and Nugent-Hopkins with the assists at 15:56. That ties the game at 2. Hyman then has a wraparound that's blocked. It stays 2-2 after 2. Third period. Bouchard has a rush chance that's saved, and then at 1:25 on a 91-mile-per-hour shot, Bouchard scores from Draisaitl and McDavid. For McDavid, that is his 70th assist of the season. He only has 21 goals, but 70 assists. He's putting up Gretzky numbers. I don't mean like Gretzky in terms of the overall points, but I haven't seen somebody with this many assists and this few goals who we know can score a lot of goals since Gretzky. That's basically how I feel on that. Anyways, the Oilers then press for another. Doughty has a blast that's held as the Kings try to push to tie it. Draisaitl nearly buries one on a turnover. Riddick denies Draisaitl on a net drive. The Oilers press at 8 minutes. Perry fires one wide. The Oilers draw a power play. That was killed off. The Oilers end up with another power play. Kings killed that off as well. However, Nugent-Hopkins tips one in close from Brown and Janmark at 16:31. For Connor Brown, that's his first point in a while. I'd love to see him get a goal before the season's done. But your final score is 4-2 for the Oilers. They go to 34-20-2. So the Kings stay in the wild card spot. They're 29-18-10 on the season. Shots on net, 11-8 LA in the first, 15-11 LA in the second, 14-12 LA in the third. Final shots 40-31 for LA. Power plays, the Kings 0 for 2, Edmonton 1 for 3. The hits 38-33 for LA. Riddick saves 27 out of 31. Skinner saves 38 out of 40. All right, and last game of the night, Boston's got a 13-game point streak on the road. 7 of those are wins. 6 of them are losses in extra time. I don't know how I feel about that. So, Ullmark versus Grubauer in this one. There's an early press by Boston. Teams exchange rushes. The shots are 3-1 Bruins at 3.5 minutes. The Bruins press at 5 minutes, and eventually on a nice stretch pass, Pastrnak scores from Shattenkirk and Boquist at 5:53. Kraken press for response. Grzelcyk misses one high as Boston gets some pressure. Kraken press with 6.5 minutes left. Things get pushed in a hole by Grubauer. It's 1-0 Boston after one. Second period, shots are 2-0 for the Kraken at 2.5 minutes. DeBrusk has a net feed that's blocked. Bruins press are kept to the outside. We then get a power play for Seattle, and Ullmark decides to pass the puck to the wrong guy. Yep, he was trying to clear it. It goes off Eberle, and Eberle goes, okay, and he put it in the net at 4:45. The assist unofficially being Ullmark's ties the game at 1. Kraken then press for the lead. Seattle goes back to the power play. There's a shorthanded rush by Frederick. We end up with 24 seconds of 5-on-3, however. It's all killed off. Pretty aggressive kill by the Boston Bruins because I think they knew they needed to there. Kraken press after it's done. Bjorkstrand has a near miss from the slot. DeBrusk has a post on a 2-on-1 rush rebound chance. Shattenkirk has a blast that's held. The Kraken press with 4.5 minutes left. But on a nice pass by Zacha from behind the net, Pastrnak scores the second of the game at 17:08. Puts Boston ahead 2-1. Geekie then took a puck to the head. He would leave briefly. He would come back. Kraken press in the final minute, but yeah, 2-1 Boston after 2. Third period. The third period's been a bit of an issue for Boston lately. Bit of an issue. So Schwartz is denied from the slot. The next Schwartz chance is held too. As I'm going, oh, it's another Bruins third. Bruins are turning it over a lot. Near miss by Dunn from the slot. The shots are 8-1 for Seattle 5 minutes in. And then at 5:29, Dunn off of a face-off win. He buries one. Burakovsky and Gord with the assists. It's a tie game. Marchand's denied and close. The Kraken go back to the power play. The Bruins score. Goalie interference challenge. It's no goal. I was on the fence with this one. Honestly, Grubauer didn't have a chance to reset and save the rebound. Geekie's right there. Anyways, or wasn't Geekie? Was it Geekie? Yeah, it was Geekie's goal. The guy's taken off the board. And it's too bad because Geekie in his return to Seattle would have been fun to see him get the goal, but it gets taken off the board. I'm fine with it. It's one of those 50-50 things. Yeah, the puck was already there. He has the right to be there, but he did interfere with the goaltender. It's incidental contact. It's not a penalty, but I totally understand Grubauer's not able to make the save. There's a press by Boston with 7.5 minutes left. At 14.5 minutes left, Bjorkstrand deflects in a point shot. Borgen and Wenberg with the assists, so that made it 3-2 for Seattle. That's where I threw my marker. 4:45 left. The Bruins get a power play. Eventually, they score on it. 17:08. It's Coyle from Pastrnak and Marchand. Now, they've given it to Coyle. Everybody threw their hats on the ice for Pastrnak, but the goal's still given to Coyle last time I looked, so that's awkward. They threw their hats on the ice for a non-hat trick. Make sure it's a credited goal before you throw your hats on the ice. 2:27 left. Seattle gets a power play. That's killed off. We're going to overtime because, of course, we are. It's Seattle and Boston. I called this. I said to Yvonne before tonight started, I said this game and this game both go into overtime. They have to. These teams not great at finishing things in regulation. So, in overtime, Bruins controlled early. Kraken take over. Kraken have a 2-on-1 that misfires. DeBrusk's denied on a fast break. We go to a shootout. Kyler Yamamoto's the only one that scores. He was the first shooter. He was also the only scorer. Seattle wins in a shootout, 4-3. They go to 25, 21, and 11 on the season. Boston with the shootout loss, 34, 12, and 14. But they're playing really, really well. So shots on net, 11-7 Boston in the first, 10-5 Boston in the second. Their first 40 minutes were quite good. Third period, 14-9 were the shots for Seattle. They're just not locking the game down. In the overtime, the shots were 2-1 for Boston. Final shots 32-27 for the Bruins. Power plays, Boston 1 for 1, Seattle 1 for 5. The hits 14-7 for Seattle. Ullmark saved 24-27. Grubauer 29 saves on 32 shots. So maybe that needs to be a T-shirt on my spring listings. My team lost, but they're playing really well. Just make that the T-shirt. But anyways, there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event that you've not done so already. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. And it's a night like this where I'm like, you know, it's so nice that I get to watch my teams lose and then make fine videos for all you people on the internet. At least there's a reason, you know, because honestly, once Seattle made that 3-2, if I didn't have a channel, that's where I would have been like, yeah, they're not winning, and I would have turned the game off. But that's me. Anyways, there you go. Thank you guys for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.